Welcome to the 4.1 Journal for Algebra 1. A lot of work in this section, not a lot of notes to take. So let's get rumbling on this. Linear model, page 178 in your book. Remember, you can look this stuff up. I encourage you to try to look this up on your own, find answers on your own. You'll be surprised, you'll learn more. You actually learn things when you're looking them up in the book. All that other stuff you read looking for this answer is extra knowledge you gain that I don't pass on here. So I may pass on some of it, but you never know. Linear model, a blank function that models a real-life situation. Well, that is going to be a linear model. Okay, straight line. Now, just some notes in here. These are usually written in one of these forms. The slope-intercept is the one we use the most. You have the standard form. Slope M, the opposite of A over B. Great formula to use. A lot easier than solving the equation for Y like you do later in here. I didn't put this down. The Y-intercept is C over B. Don't use that as much here. Again, slope-intercept, the form's the key. Remember, M stands for slope. You should always be thinking that B is your Y-intercept. Those are things that should be tattooed on your brain. Point slope form used to be used a lot more. It's been de-emphasized big time in the standards. It's still useful to know section 4.2, which you won't see any notes written up for in here because we're not going to really work on it this year. But this is a formula we use when you're given a point x1, y1 with the slope of m. Those end up getting plugged in up here, and you get your equation, which usually you just rewrite into one of the other ones if you need it. Number 25, just a reminder, slope equals rate of change. Slope is a rate. Think of that. Rates are slopes, slopes are rates. Rates are slopes, slopes are rates. Like $25 per hour, that's $25 over 1 hour, or a rise of 25, a run of 1. We're on page 98. I didn't mention that earlier. It was on our earlier picture, though. Attempt problems before I give you the answer. That's the best way to learn. You have scrambled answers over here. Recall, you're going to be using this right here, slope-intercept. Y equals mx plus b. M is your slope, b is your y-intercept. Plug them in. So you're going to be thinking y equals mx plus b. Sorry about that jumping around. I remembered something I needed to do at that moment with this. So, you got the y equals mx plus b. You don't have to write it down. You do need to think of it. It helps you see this. Plug in your information. Remember, this is m, this is b. Plug them in. Y equals 0 times x plus 9. That 0 times x is 0. So that's just y equals 9 in the end. And there's my answer in the scrambled answers. Doesn't matter what the numbers are, how weird they look, just plug them in. You're thinking y equals mx plus b. That's my m. That's my b. Y equals 4x. You can write plus a negative 2, or you could write 4x minus 2. This is what I have over there. And the answers, they usually simplify that in that case. These are similar. Extra step in here. You're not given the information. You have to find it. So you've got to go finding your slope and your y-intercept. Remember, when they give it to you as a point, that's 0b. That's supposed to be a b there. That is a y-intercept because you know your x is 0. From the song, you might remember that. Okay, so on this one, you can use your slope equals y2 minus y1 over x2 minus x1 if you want. I don't like to use that if I don't have to. We're going to have to use that on number 10 down here. So I'm going to count the slope. I'm going to think that this is also rise over run. Rise actually can be a fall, don't forget. So use the lines like streets. I go down and I go over. This is a negative 1, 2, 3, 4. That's negative 4. Whoops. 1, 2, 3, 4. So that's negative 4. That's going to positive 1. So my slope, which is rise over run, is negative 4 over 1, which is negative 4. Okay. My y-intercept is right here. That's my 0b. So my b is just equal to negative 1. That's where it crosses the y-axis. Now you have the stuff you have in the first few problems. Y equals negative 4x minus 1. There's our answer. Yeah, I checked those up there. Okay. 11, same thing. My slope, up 2 over 4. So that's going to be, 2 over 4, which goes to 1/2. My y-intercept is negative 2. Y equals 1/2 x minus 2. There we have that one. Number 10 here, you're going to have to use this. I already labeled the points for you. Also notice the scale. This is 4, so this is 0, 2, 4. That's going to, and you get your point of 0, 5. That's also your y-intercept, don't forget. It's taking on a couple of roles here. So you've got your y-intercept right there. These are pretty much like the last ones, except again, one more step. These are like number 10 where you got to use the points. Please note that you are given a y-intercept here. So we're going to find the slope m. That's going to use the y2 minus y1 over x2 minus x1. If possible, identify the y-intercept. Here you can on every problem. We get to section 4.3, they don't give us that, and we have to find it. So that's going to add one more step then. So I just get in here and I'm going to label my points. x2, y2, x1, y1. I'm going to find my slope. Where am I here? 2 minus 3 over 0 minus 4. That gives me negative 1 over negative 4, which is just 1/4. So there's my slope. Okay? I can also notice that that's got that 0 for the x. For every y-intercept, just set x equal to 0. So that makes that my y-intercept. So I know b is equal to 2. I can write my equation. I got all the information. I got m and I got b. That's all I need. Y equals 1/4 x plus 2. I'm going to come over, check my answers. I got it right there. Same thing down here. I mean, you can label it either way. It doesn't matter. It's going to work. I like the other way a little better. So we've got negative 1 minus a negative 5. I should put m equals, that's my y2 minus y1. Negative 4 minus 0. That's going to go to plus a positive. So we're going to have 4 over negative 4, which equals negative 1. Again, I forget to mark this earlier. There's my 0 comma b. That's my y-intercept since the x is 0. So that means b is equal to negative 5. I can write my equation now. Y equals negative 1x minus 5. You won't see them write negative 1 very often. Y equals negative x minus 5. There's my answer. Forgot to circle that one. Probably forgot to circle the last page. And there's that answer I just got. Okay, another step in the up in the difficulty for 19 to 24. Remember, f of x and y are the same thing. So we've had y equals mx. We've had y equals mx plus b. We're going to be thinking, okay, f of x, or the function of x, equals mx plus b now. So y, f of x are basically the same thing here. So using that idea, I got that written out up here. That means x has to be 0, y is -5. There's a point. X is 4. Y is -3. 4, -3. You can see that's where I got the 0 and the -5 over there. I got my 2 points. Now that I have those 2 points, it's just like the last problems. I'm going to find my slope. I'm going to go over to the left because I know I'm getting tight on room here. I'm going to be thinking x2, y2, x1, y1. So I'm going to have -5 minus a -3. Technically, that's supposed to be in parentheses. If you don't put it in parentheses, it's not the end of the world. -5 minus -3 over 0 minus 4 plus a positive. -5 plus 3, that's going to be -2 over whoops, don't write that very well. Over -4. That means my slope is 1/2. Geez, if you look right here again, they gave me a y-intercept. I got my x of 0, b is -5. So I've got that already. I shouldn't circle that. We don't need that. And now I can write my equation. But instead of writing y equals, okay, we're not doing y, we're doing my function of x is going to equal, and then it's just the same. mx plus b, or again, you're going to see that as -5 instead of plus a -5. And, ooh, I got scared down at the bottom. Didn't see it right away. And same thing down here. I converted my points. X is -2, y is -2. Gave me -2, -2. X is 0, y is 2, 0, 2. So we're going to do this, I'll do this one, x1, y1, x2, y2. My slope, 2 minus -2 over 0 minus -2, plus a positive, plus a positive. M equals 4 over 2, which is 2. Nice enough. Again, I got my good old-fashioned 0b. That's my y-intercept. Got it already. B equals 2. A lot of 2's on this one, eh? Y equals 2x from our slope, plus 2, our y-intercept. There it is on top. Okay, this one, you know, the letters we use are by choice. We can replace it. This one, they want to find the total cost for hours of work. I put our C and our H in over here, and you can see how that's related to our y equals mx plus b, as I said, our most important form. Okay, so an electrician charges an initial fee of $50 and $190 and $190 after 4 hours of work. Just set this up into our problem here, and you're going to plug these in. So our total cost is $190. That's our C. Let me get a different color here. I'm almost out of time. That's our C. There's your H. That's going to be your B. Plug those in. You can find your, solve it for M. And your slope, like I set up in the note earlier, slope is your rate. So the per hour, that's a rate. Just find it in your slope. We're out of time.